Larry Groce here, Mountain Stage, and if it's not on your radio station, you can hear the show at mountainstage.org. We are in Bristol, the lovely town that's on the border of Virginia and Tennessee. As always, when we come here, we're the guests of the Birthplace of Country Music Alliance, and we have a very special treat on this show, and two of our guests are with us here, including Mr. Doc Watson, a man that, if you don't know who Doc Watson is, I suggest you pause for a moment and go on the internet and just read a bit about him, because he's one of the most important figures in American music, and certainly in American traditional music, country music, Appalachian music, whatever you want to call it. He's got many records out there, Doc does. As a matter of fact, I counted 58 of them on a list I saw a moment ago. There's probably more than that, but here's a couple that are available right now. One is called Doc and Merle Watson Sitting Here Picking the Blues. That's a reissue of a CD that was made some years ago, but it's still wonderful. And then we have a record called Legacy that Doc made with my other guest here, Mr. David Holt. And both these are available. This was a Grammy-winning record, and Doc has won 8 Grammys. David has won 4. Since we are in Bristol, Doc, I started talking to you a moment ago. Everybody knows, or they should know, the reason this is called the Birthplace of Country Music is because of the sessions in 1927, which included the Carter family and Jimmie Rodgers. And I wanted to ask you, since you've been playing music now for just about 80 years, when was the first time that you remember hearing about the Carter family?
Well, I can't give you a date on that, but my memories of music started up with the Carter family and Jimmie Rodgers. And my dad bringing the latest Jimmie Rodgers album home about every third Friday when he come in from work. Not album, I'm sorry.
Just a 78?
A good old 78, yeah. They didn't have albums back then. A little later, they started putting out a little book when Merle Travis began to record. I'll get back to Jimmie in a minute. And they'd put out a little book, they called it an album, and it had 5 of the old 78s in it, and that way you got 10 songs in an album.
I remember that. Actually, my folks had those when I was a kid.
Travis was one of my favorites, but Jimmie Rodgers, in his day, was, and I could yodel when I was 10 years old.
Wow. So, and Jimmie Rodgers was a hit, became a popular hit musician.
Oh, Lord, did he ever. His first song that he recorded here in Bristol was a song called My Darling Bill. That was the first song Jimmie Rodgers recorded. And I got, my friend Robert Dahl got me a box set, and that song's the first one on the #1 CD in it. Whoever put it together knew what they were doing. You know, I liked Jimmie Rodgers' approach to playing the guitar because it was something I could learn, and I could learn his licks on the guitar easy, and helped me get started on the guitar.
T for Texas, T for Tennessee. Well, it's T for Texas, T for Tennessee. T for little Thelma, she's making a fool of me.
When we're born, there's a little invisible angel comes up, and he'll take that little hand, and here's your talents, and there'll be anywhere from 1 to 10 of those talents that you'll have. I built my own utility building. I've split wood, cut it up with a crosscut saw, all kinds of work. And I couldn't see. Well, our good old Heavenly Father knew when that little soul, who was me, come here, that this body would have a handicap. And the talents came to help put that in its place and not make me blind. You're sat in the corner there, you can't do nothing. I've had that done to many of them. It hurt me so bad to hear people do that to a blind person. You ask my little woman what all the things I can do. I can make a bed as good as any gal can. My dad gave me my first harmonica when I was 6.
So 81 years you've been making music, and that part's still fun, but the traveling around is getting a little old.
Yeah, I need to be home with my darling because she's awfully sick and needs this good right hand on that little arm to steady her, keep her from falling. When she goes out to the laundry room, she still tries to work around the house, runs the dryer and the washing machine and takes care of that, and she will not quit, bless her heart.
Yeah.
She keeps going. And the music, she loves too, bless her heart. She loves to hear it. She used to play guitar with me, and I'm going to mention a song that she wrote that will live long after I'm gone. It's called Your Lone Journey. And it won a Grammy for her, and it was done on Robert Plant's rock album, and it's on the end, but the rock music players didn't play the music for it. They got, I'm going to get off the track just a minute and then I'll get back.
That's all right.
They got Riley Bogus and the late Mike Seeger to play the music on an auto harp and a banjo, and I think Norman Blake was there, and it put just a pinch of guitar in the background on it, and then the bass player comes in on the last verse. I wrote one verse of it myself. It says, well, I didn't actually write it. She inspired it. It's some of the things she said in the song. It says, fond memories I'll keep of the happy ways that on earth we trod. We'll walk again, hand in hand, in heaven in the family of God.
If I had a needle and thread as fine as I could sew, I'd sew that pretty girl to my side, and down the road we'd go. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. When I was a little boy, I wanted a Barlow knife, and now I want little Shady Grove to say she'll be my wife. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. One more time.
You've been playing with Doc now for
1998 we started.
Since 12
of the
years. How did y'all get together? I know you live in North Carolina. I mean, did you just run into each other at a festival, or how'd it go?
No, we met in 1972, and then we really did some work together in 1984 when he was on a show that I used to have on the Nashville network called Fire on the Mountain. We had so much fun that he and Merle and I made a recording called Reel and Rock in 1985.
Oh, I enjoyed that, David.
Wow, it's a great CD, and it was the last one that Merle played on.
You can take this hammer and throw it at the captain. You can tell him I'm gone, buddy, you can't tell him I'm gone. Take it, David. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hear you. Now let me pick another one. Well, thank you.
I know you can hear Doc many places if you have not already. If you haven't been introduced, there are many ways to do that, including this album right here, Doc and David, called Legacy, and also this reissue of Doc and Merle Watson, Doc's late son, sitting here picking the blues. And the blues there, or what we've been talking about, Jimmie Rodgers, that's one of the ways he was introduced to the mountain blues. We're so happy that David and Doc joined us on this edition of Mountain Stage here in Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia, guests of the Birthplace of Country Music Alliance. Larry Groce, mountainstage.org is where you can hear the whole show.